Hello and welcome. I'm TheNando, and let me just say, I don't remember the last time I was nervous for a stream. I am nervous today. Why? I know I have all the fancy title, but I don't have anything that... I mean, it's kind of big, but not that big, but I do feel the tension. And hello, Dizzy. And yes, there are shifting tides coming to my content. I've been thinking a lot now that I have more time to think in general. I was a prisoner of my PhD for quite a long period, and that didn't leave me enough time to think about a lot of stuff, and now I have time to think, and thinking can be bad, but it can also be good, and I think I thought about a lot of stuff that I needed to think about, and a lot of it related to my content. Hello Zumu, welcome to the stream. And yeah, I've been streaming more lately compared to like back then. I streamed like 4, 5, 6 hours per week. Now I almost stream that in a day. I stream like 12 hours a week, which is a massive increase for me. And that has made me realize that I am dissatisfied with with how I'm doing some things. And hello Zerzon, hello. I'm still doing the warm-up talk. Yeah, I've realized that I'm dissatisfied. It's not even like, sometimes it's the numbers, sometimes, but it's not even that. It's me on a personal level not being fully happy with the content I'm producing. I think that was the main driving force for today's talk. And when I'm someone who is very introspective. If I'm feeling frustrated, I'm the kind of person who is like, okay, what is causing this frustration? Why do you feel like that? I'm kind of like, it's like going to therapy. I do a lot of, okay, let's get down to the bottom of this, Nando. And I did a lot of thinking regarding my content. And I will be, just so you don't have to just look at me while I'm doing this, I've prepped a canvas, and I'll be drawing a little bit, writing a little bit while talking about my content. So let's start with the first keyword, which is, oh, by the way, I know that my calligraphy is amazing. Frustration. I've been a little bit frustrated by my current content. It's like, it's not what I want, and I ask the question, why? And when you ask the question why, I like to go at the bigger picture. I don't like to just think, why am I today feeling like this? I like to go at the bigger picture and look at the interconnectivity of things. Things have a context. So I'm thinking, should I start at the start or at what my conclusions were? I think I'm going to start with the conclusions, just so you don't have to wait for the entire stream to know what is changing. I'm going to start with the conclusions, and then I will guide you through the journey that made me reach these conclusions. Let me move the canvas a little bit. So, what is my conclusion? What am I going to change on my channel? Basically, I'm going to call this, there's an anime that is called No Game, No Life. I'm going to call this No Game Full Life or something like that, because this is basically the outcome of my self-analysis. I will be doing much less video games on the channel. Go will stay. Go is not a video game, it is a board game, but I'm significantly reducing gaming content. When I say gaming, I for example, I've been playing Shapes. Probably it will be reduced a lot. Age of Empires will be reduced a lot. And that's why this stream is kinda critical, because I know a lot of people follow me for the Age of Empires. And just a small nuance in this collab games are okay. It's more, I'm going to cut more on no solo games. That's the main thing. And this may seem like it comes from nowhere. And this is not a final decision, by the way. It is going to be a final decision for a while. I will be not streaming. I will try to not stream video games at all for quite a while, but who knows? People go back and forth. I'm not saying that this will be set in stone forever. This is just my plan for now. So let's go at the start. And as I said, I have problems. That's not how you write problems. I have problems with my content. And when you have problems, I think it's very important. Oh, hello, Nego, one of my longest time supporters here on the channel. When you have problems, and this is something that I'm going to do a parallel with healthcare, you need to think, what are symptoms and what are I'm going to call them effects, like a cause and effect relationship. Hello, Axel! As more people join, I'm going to do a recap soon, do not worry. Yes, I have problems with my own content, and I don't want to target the effects. No, I don't want to target... No, this should be causes. I was here lurking, no worries, welcome. Causes. Yeah, causes and symptoms. And you do not want to target symptoms, because then it feels like you're always... Oh, this is not what you want to do. Let's not put arrows. You don't want to target symptoms, because then it feels like you're always chasing after ghosts. It feels like you're attacking things and nothing happens. You want to identify the causes. And thank you, Neko. This is my regular calligraphy. This is how I write on my everyday life. And hello, Credontost. I'm talking about my content. So, to sum it up, let's go back at the bigger picture. This is going to become a mess. I'm a bit frustrated with my content. I've decided to stream less video games. I'm going over the recap, Daniel. I'm frustrated with my content. I've decided to stream less video games. And now, let's look at why. Let's look at why I'm frustrated. And for that, I'm going to do what a lot of people should do more, which is learn from history. Things have a pattern. There's a relationship between cause and effect. And I thought it was a good effort for me to think about the timeline of my channel. Yeah, lots of drawing, writing. I thought about what was the best format for the stream for me being talking, and I feel like having a visual reference helps. And it helps me to pause and to pace what I was saying. This is interesting. This is my first time ever streaming like this. So, my channel started in March of 2023, but the spark was before, and it was health issues. I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel for quite a while. This was the definitive spark that made me realize, okay, I'm going to start this soon, and this was January 2023. And for context, I've shared this history on my channel. I've had I have diabetes and other health issues, but in this I had some heart. Oh no! Why did I pick struggling? Get the color. Yes. Heart condition. Let's call it just condition. And I was hospitalized for about a week in intermediate care. It was not urgent care, it was intermediate care. And one of the sparks for this heart condition was stress. Like, there's no conclusive answers, but stress definitely didn't help. And by the way, let me just write something that's very important. This was life-threatening. That's not what I want to write. This was life-threatening, and this was dangerous, and this could have caused permanent damage, but it didn't. I had a full recovery. Let's focus. This is positive. Let's highlight it here with some wee. Yeah, I had a full recovery, by the way. Let's start with the happy side of things. I had some heart conditions. I had a full recovery, but while I was hospitalized, things were dangerous, and I remember what the doctors were saying. I'm going to basically say it word by word. The only difference is that they told me in Portuguese, and I'm going to say it in English. Basically what they said is, okay, you're investing yourself into a PhD, and that's investment for a future, but if you keep living with all this stress, if you keep living like this, you're working towards a future that you will not get to live. That was basically their words. It was basically, you're doing sacrifices for a future, but if you don't have health, well, the sacrifices you're making now for the future will be completely irrelevant because you won't reach it. And that's not something very good to hear, yeah. So, I'm going to include my, like, this will be PH... Oh, let me get further back. I'm going to include some scales along the X and Y axis. And this will be like my... I picked the wrong color again. Let's get the color. Okay. And this will be my PhD level of focus. This is going to be on like a y-axis, and this is the x-axis. And yeah, better to have a menacing diagnosis than a... I was very unlucky at the same time. So, yeah, the PhD is part of the talk today, and it was a key part of my life. And the main thing that changed recently, and that leads to all of this talk, is that the PhD is now a smaller part of my life. So it is important to look at the context of the PhD. So my levels were very high. I was working a lot on my PhD. And here the doctors were like, okay, you should not work for at least 1 or 2 months. And I could not do any physical exercise at all for 6 months. So that's also part of why I had a full recovery, is that I respected that a lot. But if you can't do any workout, like I couldn't even go out for walks. For 6 months, you know that things are serious. And I remember when I was in the hospital, by the way, doctors were talking and nurses, and I was just laughing because, you know my personality, I'm a cheerful person. I was just laughing, and they're like, why are you so happy? And I'm like, oh, you're the ones working, I'm here on vacation. It was like, I've been working so much, and now I'm hospitalized, I don't have to work anymore, let's go! Which is... It is weird to think like that, but it was true. I was very cheerful during my time there, and my level of focus on a PhD dropped down to nothing. What were you doing for a living? Oh, the PhD. I had a scholarship. My PhD was my job as well. I was paid to do the PhD. The PhD was both my studies and also my job. It was my full-time thing. Yeah, so I had no work, no I was paying no focus, like, for like 2 months, I didn't even think about my PhD. I like opened, wrote a little bit, it was like 2 months of vacations, but I felt like this was serious and my health did took a dip, so this was needed, and this stays down for a while, and now let's add the content bar here. And of course, this was my debut as a streamer, March 2023. Work doesn't start at debut, it starts beforehand. And let's say that I would go for something like this. Content going up and PhD going was very low. And during this year, yeah, PhD did rise a little bit. Content, I mean, I don't think content was that big. I remember when I started, by the way, I did like one stream every 15 days, but they were very research streams. They should be videos. It's a very different type of content that I was doing. So let's keep it low, like this. And during 9 months, I was streaming. And during these 9 months, this goes back just the origin of my channel. This was no games. My first 6 months of streaming had no games at all. What is the original concept of my channel? I love writing. It is one of my favorite hobbies. And I wanted to use my channel as an extension of that hobby. I never intended on being a video game channel. And that's why I think history is important. Because that was never a part of my intention to start video games. But then my focus on content started growing. And in September, I did my first video game stream. It was Majesty, a little bit of Disgaea. And then in November, I did my first Age of Empires stream. So even though a lot of people know me from Age of Empires, I spent 11 months of channel time, even before debut, without thinking about AoE. The writing streams feel like yesterday, and there's a reason for it, and I'm going to go back into that. This is the writing. Let me write writing here. I'm not going back to writing streams, by the way, maybe 1 or 2, but this will not be my main content. By the way, spoiler alert, writing will not be my main content. But yeah, Age of Empires started, and then I had 2 bangers. My AoE content was growing. By the way, AoE community very supporting. I did join here because of AoE. And don't worry, you and most people. AoE was growing, and then in... this is 2024. We have a time skip. February, I have Hera. That was a big marking point in my career. Oh, let me do the cursive age. I love the cursive age. Hera. That looks nicer. And in the same month, this is both in the same month, I have the... concealed... Oh, did I change the colors? No. Concealed teacup. And I feel like the concealed teacup is one of my best contents. I feel like the concealed teacup was a banger. And look at the density. That is one thing I want to highlight. In the space of 4 months, this is just 4 months, 4 or 5 months, I tried like 2 or 3 different games. I started streaming Age of Empires, I had coaching with Hera, I had a new event. My content was booming during this era, but I was also, it was not that I was streaming a lot, I was doing a lot of cool stuff, which is different. I was really pushing it. I was doing a lot, like my streams were not like, okay, new week, same schedule. No, this was not the period where I streamed the most, but it is a period where I feel like I streamed the best. I was innovating a lot, I was doing a lot of stuff here during this period, and I'm going to... Okay, this is the PhD level of focus. PhD is still, like, increased a little bit, but it's still low. The PhD is still low here, and content, I could say that it was a bit higher. And then I was looking at my next big milestone, and hello, Goshi! I will do a recap soon. I'm creating a big mess here. I will do a recap and then keep pushing forward. And I was looking at my channel and I was thinking, okay, in this period, in this first year, I had my writing streams, and up to this day, people talk to me about my writing streams. People are like, oh, I started writing because of your writing streams. My presentations about VTubing, about Brandon Sanderson. People still talk about those streams to this day. And now, from this to... And I'm going to go for a big gap here. And the next mark is March 2025. Oh, CTC is Concealed Teacup. It is the biggest event I've organized. Basically. It is the Concealed Teacup. It was a Age of Empires event. And during this period, I joined like the T90 tournaments. I did collabs with a lot of people. I met Almantas, for example, Dizzy, TTTTT, R-Base. I did a lot of stuff with other people, like, for example, T90 Community Cups. True, they are cool, but they are T90 and a communities project. This is not my thing. And if I look at what I did, I met a lot of people and I'm very proud of that. But okay, if you're following me for my content, what huge memorable things did I do? Like, me planning, me organizing. Like, I collabed as a part of a lot of cool stuff. But what did I, as TheNando, create during this 1 year period? And this is 1 year is so much. I have a lot of cool streams, but compared to the early memorable stuff, how much time has passed, looking back and looking at the 1 year gap, this is huge. And by the way, this is VTuber debut. And why did this year happen like this? This is VTuber debut. I'm going to finish the timeline and then we go to the explanation. 04 2020. No need to write the year. We're in 2025. 04 06. Here it was hiatus. So I debuted as a VTuber and had a hiatus right from the get-go. So what happened? And now this is today. 08. This is today. Today I'm happy. Let's add a smiley face here. What happened during this period? What happened was that the PhD level of focus had to go up. I wanted to finish the PhD, so the PhD level of focus had to go up, and this is the hiatus. This is me really... Okay, I need to end the PhD, let's get the focus level on the max. And that meant that, of course, my level of focus on the content, if this goes up, this has to go down. I mean, this would be 0. This is... Since I started my channel, this is the period where I thought the least about my content in all of my history. And why do I have so much gaming content over here and, let's say, non-memorable content? And by the way, I do have a lot of memorable talks and experience. I just feel like if you're my viewer, you do not talk about how cool it was that I did during this or that period. It's like, you have some cool streams, like, oh, I remember that push, I remember that, but you don't have a lot of, like, oh, that stream, like the lasagna stream, that was a cool one. That is more of the style of my modern content. And why did that happen? We are people. Me, you, whoever is watching. I think all of us. If you're not people and you're watching, welcome. And I have no hostility towards your species, whatever that is. Yeah, no hostility towards cats. And people have something called needs. Oh, I need to stop pressing this. Oh. Okay, people have needs. And during my PhD, like, I'm going to add a seesaw. I feel like being happy is not being like this, nor being like this. Happiness is often achieving a balance. And during the PhD, I had a lot of stress pushing here. And for example, I love creative endeavors. I love, and this is PhD stress. I love writing, I love, like, for example, right now I'm playing Go. I love playing Go. But writing, I would add stress. It is something I love, but it's something hard. Thinking about for organizing a tournament, like I organize, like, would be a lot of stress. And right now, I already have the stress of PhD. What I need is something here to counterbalance. And for me, the main thing that counterbalanced the stress of the PhD was gaming. Gaming relaxed me a lot, and gaming, I feel like gaming, in a way, is a good nullifier. Let's add nullifier, that's a nice word. Nullifier. Basically, if I'm angry, let's add an angry phrase. What does gaming do to Nando the human? If I'm angry, gaming makes me a little less angry. If I'm tired, okay, let's say, I know how I'm going to represent tired. Like big, oh, I'm so tired. Gaming makes me less tired. But if I'm like super hype, as I am lately, whoa, it's even bolder. Look, I think gaming also nullifies my excitement. And right now I'm like this and I want to be like this. And also, what happened recently is that the PhD stress is gone. The PhD stress is gone. So now I'm having a lot of gaming here. And I have no force over here. And I feel like gaming so much is making me feel lack of personal realization. I think gaming, because I was thinking, content, let's go to content side of things. Content. Content is a combination of many aspects. It is what you do. It is your personality. What else goes into content? Like your skills. It is a combination of a lot of things. And I was using content as a vessel towards gaming to fulfill a need. Now that the need is gone, I'm like, does this content still make sense? Because to do good content, you have many paths to do good content, and one of them, for example, is skill. If you're a pro at something, even if you are not a good communicator, people will tune in. If you're the best, like the best Age of Empires player, Hera is a good player but also a great streamer, but if you're super skilled, people will tune in. If you're a funny haha guy, funny has two ends. Funny haha guy, people will tune in. Another way is originality. And lately, since I was unsatisfied with my content, I was like, I have a few skills, I know I'm the funniest guy ever, I'm not being that original. And that sent me down the rabbit hole of how can I be original in gaming, specifically in Age of Empires. Exactly, Axel. Gaming, anyone can stream gaming, but gaming as a stream is complicated, especially because this is a market, there's a law of supply and demand, and everyone wants to be a gamer. Everyone wants to see games, so you're fighting against a lot of competition. So I was thinking about originality in AoE, and I was having some good ideas. I really was. I was like, okay, this is original and I can do it. But then, when I was like, okay, it's time to go forward, I was like, meh, I kinda don't want to do this. And I was thinking also about other games. I was searching for originality. I did a lot of soul searching, like, okay, where am I going to take my content within the world of gaming? What is my gaming... Oh, with just one, and typos will be a constant here, sorry. What is my gaming direction? And every path was leading to a dead end. Every way was leading to dissatisfaction. For example, if I committed hours into Age of Empires, I could make amazing content. I do believe, and I can grow as a streamer. Age of Empires is complicated because it's very saturated, but I still feel there are ways to grow in Age of Empires. But then I was posed with the question, not can you do it, but do you want to do it? And that's where my chain of thought started shifting. It's like, my mind change of between, can I do a great gaming content to do I want it? And the answer I found in a lot of things. Can spell Nando without a type. Oh, let me just write Nando with my calligraphy. Just in a corner. TheNando. Just so we have something looking nice. The Nando. So yeah, my thought shifted from can I do it and do I want to do it? And I had some clues along the way. Let me go to a different section of the canvas. This is going to... I want to unzoom this at the end and see the mess I've created. And when you're doing anything... Okay, let's talk about identity. Because what I'm producing as a content is tied to my identity as a content creator. And you have two types of identities, I feel like. You have your self-viewed. I hope this is being interesting, by the way. I hope this is being interesting. Identity. And you have your projected identity. I'm not a psychologist or a sociologist or anything. This is just how I view things. This is my vision, my own philosophy. And these two identities can live in harmony or they can collide. I think the more your projected identity is aligned with your self-viewed identity, the more realized you will be, the more confident you'll be. If you know confident people, I know a lot of confident people. Some people think that confidence has a template and a mold, and I completely disagree with that. From knowing a lot of confident people, I think most confident people are people who project their true selves. They are really happy with who they are, and they do not follow that standard mold. A lot of people who try to follow the confidence mold just create a fake sense of confidence. When you see true confident people, when I mean true confident people, it can be like a giga maths nerd. I've seen giga maths nerd talking about maths, and you could see their eyes shining, you could see their confidence, you could see their sense of accomplishment and identity. The same for artists, the same for sports people, the same for whatever it is. When someone has their self-viewed identity and their projected identity aligned, they start building self-confidence, and this creates like a spiral that confidence feeds confidence, which in turn makes you more confident, and it helps. It helps a lot. And I'm somewhat of a confidence person, but in content creation, in terms of my identity, I noticed something funny. When people ask me to introduce myself, introductions, even though I have, oh yeah, I've studied an introduction, I have anything, I always fumble them, always. When people ask me to introduce, and I feel like, as I said, this is a symptom. This is not a cause. Me fumbling my introduction is a symptom of something. And I also noticed when people are talking about me, that's more of a projected identity. People talking about me. A lot of people introduce me as the AoE 2 VTuber. And my answer to this, like, I'm not unhappy, but it just invokes a feeling of meh. That's not how you write meh. It just invokes a feeling of meh. It's like, if someone introduces, oh, he's a guy doing a PhD, yeah, I'm like, oh, you stop it, you like Tony chapter. Oh, if someone introduces like, oh, this guy represented Portugal in a gold tournament. If someone says, oh, he's the AoE 2 VTuber, I do not feel, like, I'm happy about my content, and by the way, I produced a lot of AoE 2, good AoE 2 content. If you support me because of the AoE content, I'm talking about a shift of direction, but let me just, I'm even going to draw a heart here. To the AoE 2 community, this is for you. And I'm not saying, oh, you liked my content, you liked something that wasn't good. No. I produced a lot of good streams, and I think a lot of people showed their support, and I think a lot of people like my AoE 2 content, so thank you. But my question is, do I want to have that as my main focus? And this is an example of not good. I had 2 good examples recently, the opposite. I'm going to give concrete examples. Zardoz, which is a funny one, and let's add Wilhelm here. These were very recent. There were more examples, but these were so recent. Wilhelm. And what were these 2 incidents? Zardoz is organizing a AoE 2 event, the Secret Desert Cup, and he has player profiles. And in that player profile, I saw, for example, TheNando, Master. Oh, let me write a cursive capital. I love cursive capital letters. No, that's an N. Master of many talents. Something along those lines. And seeing this description made me very happy and proud of my identity. Wilhelm, when I was streaming with him, I had both of the incidents. When he asked me to introduce myself, I was like, yeah, I stream Age of Empires. And then he was like, oh, and you were at the Go tournament. At the Go World Championship. Talents, yes. One of my I love writing, but typos are a hallmark. I see here you're not a master but a doctor. Yes. I could call yourself a master. Yeah, I'm still not a doctor. Because I haven't done the defense yet. So I'm still a master. Soon to become doctor. The Go World Championship. I don't think it gets revoked, but I have no idea. And this was a projection of my image that made me very happy. These 2 projections make me very happy. And another thing that I want to bring back to here, in terms of identity, is I notice, because you tell these things. You can tell, you can feel this. Not having a coherent identity, it's not only about branding, it's how you place yourself with people, it's how people interact with you is defined by your identity, and this is often managed by expectations. I'm just going to save the canvas, by the way, just so I don't lose it. When you do things, you set expectations. And those expectations set how people interact with you. And because my content was a little bit all over the place, people who know me in real life know how to interact with me. I feel like a lot of people, when I say people, I'm talking about you in chat. You there, I'm pointing at you. You get a call out. You get a call out. Everyone here gets a call out. I feel like in social media, for example, you see someone who is a jokester. You see one of their posts and you're like, oh, I'm going to comment a little hee hee ha ha. That's how I interact with these people. He's projecting hee hee ha ha. I comment hee hee ha ha. Okay, this guy is an intellectual. He's projecting that. I'm going to comment that. People like to have expectations, and one of the most important things in art, this is art in general. If you're doing art, expectations are key, and also predictability. Predictability. Predictability is very important. It is important to be predictable to a certain degree. You want to surprise people, but you also want to be predictable in art. Lack of predictability is just chaos. People like to see the pieces fitting together. Even if you're fully chaotic, you're like, oh, I'm not predictable, I'm super chaos. Well, I'm expecting chaos, you are predictable. And people find comfort in seeing expectations meet and in seeing predictability being accomplished. People find comfort in that, and that creates a stronger brand. And I feel like a lot of people, and yeah, Axel is saying, every time I started the UI, I get the AoE and strategist out of that. I feel like a lot of people do not know how to engage with me. And even, for example, I'm going to just write this small, unfollows. Unfollow sometimes means nothing. It is important, you see number go down, okay, maybe sometimes it's just a bot getting banned. But I see a lot of unfollows in my social media, for example on X, that are AoE people who follow the AoE scene. They see me as an AoE streamer, they create expectations, and then I stream a non-AoE stream, a single one, and they're like, okay, never again, I don't want to join, to follow you anymore. That's enough. One. Even if I do like 4 a week, I do 1 no AoE and that's enough. Because I'm betraying the expectations that a lot of people in the AoE content world have. That is, if you do AoE, you just do AoE. All of this to say that I want to create a clearer image of myself. And I feel like for that, I need to have confidence. And I feel like doing a lot of gaming content was imposed to me. Let me look a little bit at the bigger picture. Okay. Yeah, gaming content, as you can see here, it's very clear, was imposed to me because of the timeline, because to fulfill my needs. And it is not something that I want to project and be. And so I need to reinvent myself. Let me just, I have some notes, but as you can see, things are a little bit messy. But yeah, I do feel like the fact that oh, there's another one here in expectations and predictability. Talking about X, it's one of my least favorite social medias, by the way, but I do use it. And the main reason why I use it is because the main social network for VTubers, and networking is important. Another symptom, I'm talking about the symptoms. I like symptoms. I mean, don't take me out of context. Was not sharing streams. I do not share the waiting room for all of my streams on X, and that's because I feel like, okay, this stream is not that good. It's not worth of sharing it. And if that is the attitude you have towards your content, if you're going into a stream thinking, oh, I'm not that excited to share this stream, how can you bring your A game if that's your attitude even before starting the stream? It's like, it's not that. I want to go back into having the feeling that every single stream that I'm walking to, of course, you can't perform 100% all the times, but I want to be hyped for my own content. I want to feel like, okay, this is very cool. I want people to click this. I want, like, this is so cool. If people don't click this, they are just missing out. My content is so cool. Like, if you don't want to watch me, you're the one missing. That's what I want to feel. And lately, and Axel is here, I've been having a lot of let's call it exposure, because I have more time, exposure to different things. To different things. And I've had a lot of things that were very fun. Fun is very important. And for example, the clip from Yomi, the clip of my lasagna. That's such a funny clip. I enjoy that. And that's not even like a stream in itself. It's just a fun clip. But I have fun doing that. And I had fun in the way I presented myself and how I handled that and how I interacted with that. And you can tell the clip turned out good. And my two biggest clips in the recent terms were the rotating of Nando and the lasagna. And yes, the rotating of Nando is a Dark Souls reference, and the lasagna comes from an AoE stream. But gaming is not a part of the charm of either of them. Gaming is very secondary. And as I said, I was struggling to find, okay, what game can I dedicate my life to? What game can I produce? I mean, you can produce good content in gaming without dedicating your life to, but I feel like gaming does not bring out my strongest suits. Gaming is not my strongest affinity, and also I have goals. I have ambitions. I have funny typo on purpose. Aspirations. I'm such a goofball. And my streams lately were battling. This was a battle. Like, oh, I want to work on my book, but I need to stream games. I want to play Go, practice Go, but I have to stream video games. And streaming video games was being stressful now. It converted from rest into stress. And I feel like if my streams align with my personal goals, ambitions, and aspirations while being good content, I can do much better things. If I plan good content and events and things like that, and they are aligned, for example, with growing Go, with... I mean, streaming while writing is very difficult, but I can do other things. And blocking me out of games will also force my creativity. I am very creative. I am a very creative person, trust me. You've probably seen not a lot of creativity in the last couple of times because of all of that explanation over there. But I love to be creative, and I feel like when I can be creative, it's where I shine. And I was taking a lot of steps. For example, the T90 events, I do a lot of good content there, but they are formulaic. They do not boost my creativity. They do not work towards my strengths. And I want to boost this. And oh, I was talking about streamers here. Exposure to different things. Streamers. I just want to say that this stream as well has been made possible thanks to tonight's sponsor, Konobagumi wa Grano sponsor no teikyo te oklishimasu. Hi. No. Because I have good streamer contacts, and I've talked to a lot of streamers in the past couple of days, and that helped me a lot in identifying these aspects that I'm communicating here today. If you're watching this stream, you could be lurking, you could be... I've talked to some streamers, some people know that, like, they are my friends, we interact openly, but also some streamers that you've never seen me interact with them on camera, never. You don't even know who I interact with. It's like, ooh, secret stuff. And I've had a lot of talks, and every single one of those talks helped me in arrive at the conclusions that I'm sharing here today. Because this all seems very simple. If you look at this all seems very simple. But reaching these conclusions and having this level of self-analysis is not easy. And streamers help me. And if you're watching this and you're wondering, did I play a role? Yes. If you're asking this question, the answer is already yes. And hello Vexel! let me... I mean, I'm just not going to shout you out because it feels like a weird stream to shout out someone else in the middle. A fellow ghost streamer, VTuber, Vexel Cafe, really cool content. I shout you out vocally, not with the comments. But yeah, some streamers help. And yeah, any questions? I've talked about how I identified some lags in my content, causes and effects, and how I've identified a lot of symptoms that point that I'm not really satisfied with my content in terms of gaming. This is the... Where's the start? Yeah, this is the start line. I think things are clear, and I feel like if I keep hitting this note, I will just be repeating myself. So let's go into the stage 2. Where do I go for stage 2? Let's go... This corner seems nice. I can expand the canvas. Let's expand the canvas. I have the power. Change canvas size. Look at this. Wait, did it? Oh, white. White is an evil color. Don't take me out of context on that. I just mean that I don't want to flashbang people. One thing you learn as a streamer is that white backgrounds can be very harsh on some devices. That's why even the brighter colors on my screen are never white. I don't know if simple is the right word to describe this, but I'm glad you're resolute and confident enough to feel that way. I mean, this is very simple. What do you mean? My mind is not simple. Okay, we've expanded there because, okay, one thing is that was my past content, and if I'm changing things, okay, then I need to replace them with someone else, something else. It's not like I want to stream. I like streaming. Let me write that. I like streaming. I want to continue streaming. Even if I get saturated from streaming, by the way, I have no plans on graduating. Let me write that. No graduating, if for those of you who are VTuber, who are not VTuber fans, graduating is just stopping streaming. It is no plans graduation. Yeah, I have no plans on stopping on streaming. If my life shifts around and I get very saturated, I would much rather reduce to 1 stream per week, to 1 stream every 2 weeks, than to completely stop. Full stops are not on my plan for the near or the far future. I would much rather reduce the dosage than stopping. So that brings us into stage 2 of the talk. I've talked about I'm reducing gaming content. So what will it be replaced of? Graduation for VTubers in the North. I mean, it doesn't have to be. It can be, but it can be an indie VTuber. An indie VTuber that stops streaming is also graduating. It doesn't have to be someone splitting up with the corpo. But that is often a way that it is utilized, yes. Sometimes they are graduating, they are just ending one identity and starting an identity with a new one. Just the lingo. Yes, yes. Yeah, that's not key. Would you ever put on the table returning to 3D in the future? The table returning to 3D in the future. I was like, the table will... Why will the table return to 3D? What? I misread that so bad. No. Okay, let me draw a table. Behold, the 3D table. Now in full immersive experience. Oh yes, and yes, I would put on the table, like I'm very adamant on not stopping streaming. I would put on the table returning to 3D, to flash tubing in the future, or having both. Those are all options. For now, I have no plans. I was a flash tuber. Before I was a VTuber, and my VODs from flash tubing are still up there. You should teaser return to 3D and just make your model a 3D model. That's a good idea. I can do this. Where's the button? Where's my favorite button? Yeah, Flash Tuber sounds horrible. I have this. Oh. I can become 3D. Look at that. So Sage 2, I'm going to call this Nando. Shippuden, as a reference to the anime. The power of rotation, yo! A flash toggle. That sounds so bad. Yeah, TheNando Shippuden part 2. So if I'm not doing gaming, what am I doing? Oh, hello Zardas. To sum you up, this is what you missed so far. Your name is here. Look, it's you. You're here, Zardas. You were mentioned. And now I'm going to be a salad and say, if you want to know why, watch the whole VOD and give me watch time. Why? This has an age. Why Shippuden? Shippuden. I will not take the blame for this. Okay. So, what's the future? That was the past. That was me identifying and justifying why I want to move away from gaming. Zardas is a clue, the culprit. Detectives are almost there. Yeah, just one step ahead. Send the coppers in. We got this. Zardas is the key to the future. All we need is... if we find the Zardas, save the world. Save the cheerleader, save the world. In a world where happiness was no more, 2 VTubers joined to change the fate of mankind. Sorry. What is the future? I realized in my search for gaming that I didn't reach a conclusion. I realized something. Age of Empires, for example, I started playing Age of Empires competitively in 2020. That's very recent. There are casuals, let me write here, AoE casuals. There are casuals from Age of Empires who know a lot more about the game than me. I know how to play the game, questionably, but I'm definitely not an expert. Like, this is to say that Age of Empires, it's not my field of expertise. And knowing about something in streaming helps. And I was like, wait. Mr. Nando, let's have a talk. You are saying, oh, let me think about games. And by the way, I thought about Civ, I thought about you, Factory games, I thought of, like, Dark Souls. I went all on a lot of routes, and all of them I found limitations and such. Mr. Nando, a lot of streamers, when they are thinking, they are looking about talents. And there's a lot of talents that can go for streaming. And why are you knocking at the door on gaming? When you have done so many things. I'm the man with 1,000 talents. I've done a lot of stuff. Why am I trying to create an identity? Why am I trying to create like this gamer person that creates cool, engaging content when I'm already so cool? Let me write that. TheNando, I'm already so cool. By the way, that's an important thing of this. Different people have different struggles. Let's write cool. Different people have different struggles, and I'm talking about some of mine here. If you're this is sunshades, sunglasses. And a lot of content creators have different struggles, and some of them could be, for example, self-confidence. That is a very common one. For me, like, having a good image of yourself, this is not my struggle, by the way. I have struggles. I'm talking about identity. I have a very positive image of myself, which helps. And I know I'm not making light of those who don't. That's a big fight, and that's something people struggle with. That's just not my struggle, as I think I can project well. I have a lot of talents, and I'm just not using them. One of them is Go. Oh, and I'm going to also say why I don't use them, by the way. Because I also realized when doing this stream why I don't use them. I'm good at Go. I'm good at, and this is going to be engineering PhD. This will have a lot to talk. We have a lot to talk about this one. I won't go over technical things, don't worry. I have the engineering PhD. I write. One of my favorite hobbies, I'm writing an epic fantasy book. I draw maps. I have, from no-go players, I'm going to go there. I used to think, yeah, I'm going to guitar, grade 8 rock school. That's like the highest exam I did in terms of guitar. That means that I've studied guitar for quite a while, and I studied theory and I did an exam. I can draw. I've been drawing amazing fan art lately of Zerzon and everything, and draw will be my more hee ha ha ha. Oh, programming. You can make, these are all things that you can make content. I'm not going to make content on all of these, by the way. But these are all things that I can do and that I'm not using in content creation. And one thing, for example, Go, let's go over each one. Go, I always felt like I was weak at Go. Why? Because we play ELO, ranked, tourneys. And I went for some, I've represented Portugal in international tournaments. And if I'm in a tournament, I'm surrounded by some of the best players in the world. And in their own countries. So I'm looking up. I see like, ooh, everyone is done. I'm the worst Go player ever. I'm just a humble Q. I'm so weak. Ooh, that sucks. Ooh. But then, for example, I started streaming and I'm like, wait. There are people who are not as good as me. Wait a second. I've 13 years of Go actually taught me something. I can make good Go content. And one moment that was really funny in the AoE world, just a side note, I was talking in a server, someone tagged me in a talk about Go, and I said, oh, I'm not that good. I'm like a 5Q. I represented Portugal in a World Cup. And they were like, oh yeah, not that good, you represented your country in a World Cup. And I'm like, no, honestly, I'm not that good. And they were like, it was a real funny culture shock. They're like, no man, it's kind of like you're taking the piss at us. If you represented your country, you have done things that are worthwhile. You are skilled. And right now I'm organizing, I had a meeting today, I'm organizing a tournament. I'm the main organizer for an upcoming tournament. I'm organizing a talk at an anime convention. I'm starting to actually grew a name for myself. We didn't go. So yeah, if I need to search for a thing that I'm going back to this, where I'm like skilled, funny, original, and I already have one right in front of me in Go. And the feedback from the Go community also helps. And by the way, oh, I forgot to add something big here. This is when I started VTubing. This is also when I started Twitching, by the way. Because I only streamed on YouTube, not Twitch. And this also changed my perspective. Because Go, my videos kind of flop on YouTube, but on Twitch, the community is helping a lot. But yeah, engineering PhD. I can do a lot of cool stuff. I can do really cool 3D modeling. For example, if a cosplayer wants a prop, like, oh, I saw that thing in a show, I want to 3D print it. I can very easily 3D model something for that. And that's, I think I can make cool content around 3D modeling. 3D modeling, I have 10 years of experience in 3D modeling. It's one of my main areas in engineering. And yeah, why am I not using this? I think the PhD created a lot of sense of hostility towards engineering for me. Yeah, now I'm just bragging. Now I'm just bragging. The PhD created a lot of hostility towards engineering, but I decided to go into engineering. And I decided to go into engineering because I like it. And there's a lot of cool stuff there, and people also like it. 3D modeling is one of them. One thing that I think could be really cool, my two main expertise are 3D modeling, machine design, and one robotics. These are my three main expertise, especially machine design. I can create a lot of cool stuff on stream. I can make interesting content. I can make content. As I said, I was making content that I'm like, if people, I'm kind of ashamed that I'm pressing the live button. I can make content regarding engineering that people will be missing out if they don't tune in. These ones, writing, just going over the topics. I love writing. It is my biggest passion, but I don't think I'm at a point where I can make good writing content. Maybe after I'm published, I can make some Q&As and things like that. Right now, we need to be smart. It's not as, oh, I like this. I think right now, doing writing content is a bad idea. Maybe in the future. Drawing maps, maybe 1 or 2 streams, but I'm also kind of hesitant. Guitar, I can do good content and I want to do more content, but guitar, I've noticed it's hard. I want, and I have to make things easy on me. I think I can make spectacular guitar content, but I need to find out. I need to do a search. These two, I think I can go straight forward. This one, I need to improve. Draw, I can do hee hee ha ha. Not actual great drawing. Ha ha. And programming, I think programming by itself is not the coolest thing. I mean, it is, but for a niche audience that I would have to struggle towards building. But I think programming can be a good complement towards this and towards that. Towards that. Like, I can't do like full software, but maybe have something simple. And hello, Stroff. Welcome to this mess of a stream. Welcome. But yeah, I'm thinking of, now that my PhD is over, my distaste for engineering is a lot reduced. And I'm thinking it's a much stronger branding and much more me to be, okay, go and engineering. But I'm also going, okay, I'm going to address one thing. Let me just throw at wall. Let me just write that before I forget. Vexel asked, what writing do I do? I'm doing what everyone says you should not do. I'm writing an epic fantasy novel. I finished the first book. I'm revising. It has 24,000 words. And this is book 1 out of 12. It's going to be a long series. And this, if we're talking about, this is the main thing. I feel like this will be my magnum opus. I am very confident with what I'm building. I feel like the first book is not even the best one in the series. I'm improving it right now. It's not published yet. I'm looking forward to having this in the hands of people. I want my books to be read. This is going to be big. I have a lot of faith in this. But this is a project that I've been working on this for 10 years, by the way. I've done this way more than I've done streaming. I've done a lot of mistakes. I've learned a lot. And now I'm working on the final version. I'm very excited towards this. This is my opera magna. I am, because it's one thing, and of course, sometimes confidence can be false confidence, but I've had 10 beta readers. Very different beta readers. I didn't want to go like 10 like-minded people and just ask. And of course, some of them are my good friends, and friends will also always tell you, oh, things are good. But I've had some people who are like, yo, Nando, what? You can write like that? They were like, I started writing the book because it was you who wrote it, But now I want a sequel. That's so good that, like, the plot, like, the start is kind of shit. It was kind of shit. I'm improving it. But then it turns so cool. I start... So I have good feedback here. This is hype. This is for another time. And this is something I can yap on about for hours. Oh, the book is not out yet. I just had beta reader friends. The book, it is in Portuguese. I want to translate it into English. But I had a finished version, start to finish. And then I had some good feedback, and this is a funny one. By the way, side story, we'll be back at the action in a second. Different people have different priorities in what they're writing, what they're focused. My funniest feedback, by the way, okay, some feedback are like, you should not accept all feedback, for example, that's one of the most important things. Some you need to identify their personal things. Some it's like, okay, this is a glaring issue. This was one that is a glaring issue and it was kind of funny. My book has no animals on it in all of these pages. And I mean, I've had pets, but it was like I never had pets as a kid. I never interacted a lot with animals, but it is glaring. And now that I read it, it's like, how is like a cat never mentioned or a cow? It has food, like people eat chicken and everything, but they're walking through a field and there's no wild chicken, there's no wild cows, there's no wild horses, there's no animals from start to finish in the entire book. And I'm like, what? That's why you need beta readers. Yeah, no cats, no dogs, nothing. And I like animals, by the way. It was funny. That's a fun story of why somehow you sometimes receive feedback that you're not expecting at all. The no animals. And it will have animals on release. That's a story that you... Okay, throw at wall. What do I mean by throw at wall? I'm not doing gaming. That is decided. No gaming. No gaming. I am doing Go. That is decided. But for example, Go, I can do 1 stream per week. I can do 2 streams per week. I can do... What do I... How do I organize this? And first, I have 2 major plans. 2 major lines of thoughts. No gaming ever. There will be on collabs. And maybe... like, okay, I haven't played Age of Empires in 1 month. Let me stream. There will be gaming on collabs, for example. I can go cast matches. That's not out of the table. And, but not regular gaming. Like, it's not, I'm not going to have any game as a weekly show. As this is fixed. Like I'm doing with Age of Empires right now. Or then I added shapes. I will game, but it won't be a core thing. That's basically, and I'm also doing that to force me to adapt. Maybe I'll go back in the future. Because... as I said, let's go back to the seesaw. We are made of needs. And we are made of balance. And right now, I feel like my... Go isn't game... I mean, it is a board game. It's not video gaming. I meant video gaming. Go is art. Go is philosophy. Yeah, we need balance. And... right now, I feel like my balance is removing gaming. Why am I using the diameter? This is the diameter symbol. This is a forbidden. My balance is found in no gaming. And probably this is like an oscillating a spring dampener. In okay, let's talk engineering. Why did I... You talk about damping and springs. And you have 2 types of systems. Your goal is to arrive here. This is balance. And you are starting here. This is your starting point. And your goal is there. Kratos, you studied electronics. You know, you've seen these diagrams. They are also used in spring and dampers. They are used in PID control, if I remember correctly. And if your system doesn't have any damping, and you want to go to this point, you're like, okay, I have to go that way. You have no damping, you're going that way, and then whee! And now you're out of line. Screw control. Yeah, this is control theory. If you're overly dampened, like if you're very conservative, if I'm like, today, like next week, I'm going to maybe stream 3 hours and 50 minutes instead of 4 hours. If you're overly conservative in your changes, what you do is something like this. It's like, and you never... There are two good choices that you can have, which is having the system perfectly dampened, which is going like this, and like, okay, I've reached the point. Or you can have a little bit of under dampening, but then the system go, and you go wee. This is what I'm going for right now. The wee. I am here in gaming, and this is off balance. I want to reach a balance point, and now I'm going to go towards no gaming. And probably, maybe along the way, I'll find that's maybe, okay, I need to add more gaming, okay, a little bit less. But now I'm at this point of the curve. And I'm going the extreme route to dampen it, yeah, to find a sweet spot. And yes, Axel, sorry, programming streams have really good traction depending on what language you use. I use Python, but I'm ready to relearn. Oh, by the way, just a quick side note. On 3D modeling, that's... I've really changed my way of thinking, because my main barrier, I've thought about 3D modeling quite a bit. The main barrier for this was Autodesk Inventor is my main software, and I have student license. I can't, like, legally, I cannot stream using this license, I believe. And there are other free softwares that I have licenses that I can use for streaming. Yeah, that was a basic electronic signal. Yes, Kratos, not complex control. That's a spring and dampener for us mechanical engineers. There's free software. I would have to learn, but that's not bad. As I said, it's one thing to learn a culture that you know nothing of, and that can make for strong or weak streams depending on how you tackle it. Learning is interesting. And if it is someone who is like, I have 10 years in one software, let's learn another, and then let's create cool stuff. I feel like I can learn super fast and then make cool stuff. Why not? Like, this used to be a barrier, the fact that I can't use Inventor for streaming. Like, oh, I have 10 years of experience here. Yeah, but I've also used SolidWorks, I've also used... what's the name of the other one? I used another one. Yeah, why not try this? Easy. And that brings us the fact that I'm trying that. Did I miss something here? No. Okay, let's go to throw at wall. That is going to be my philosophy for the... not philosophy. For the next couple of terms. I'm... need to take a step back. I'm stepping away from gaming and forcing myself into new territory for discovery. But when we're talking about... oh, I forgot one thing. When we're talking about identity here, one thing that defines your identity is tags and labels. They can carry a lot of strength, or they can be very debilitating. Tags and labels are very powerful in our society, in our world. For example, that's why study of literature genres is important. Because I talked about expectations you set. By setting your tag as, and your label of your book as fantasy, you are creating expectations and predictability, and it is important to know those tags and labels. Why do I say that? Because there is a tag that is variety streamer. Because a lot of people, when I say, oh, I'm going off of gaming, they just say, oh, you want to be a variety streamer. Don't call my name, don't call my name, TheNando. And this is a tag that I kinda... it is what I'm becoming, but it is not... it is too abstract. I want to be more concrete. I would rather have people say, oh, he's the Go and engineering guy, than, oh, he's the variety guy. I feel, and especially because I want to grow, this is not a tag that I view myself in, even though this is what I've been doing, especially now, for the sake of discovery. I'm small, and being small... and tiny, hello, I'm small, means that I can afford luxuries that the big ones can't. And sometimes you see bigger channels trying out different things, and the algorithm is such a potent overlord Yeah, there is no such thing as the variety guy. If you do variety, you have to set out with something else. Exactly. So I want to avoid this. Because that's the danger of this. The fact that I have a lot of talents means that I can be the variety guy. I don't want to be the variety guy. That's what I have to fight. I'm going to do some discovery and find out what works and what doesn't. Find out the yays and find out the nays. So what can you expect from my content in the near future? Exploration. And you can expect, this is going to be funny, self-awareness is so important. You can expect in my near future, let me go somewhere else. There's just one point I wanted to touch upon here. But okay, let me finish this line of thought. What can you expect in my near future? You can expect the quality of my streams. Like, I'm setting expectations now. To... Ooh. This is very important. Me stating this and me embracing this is so big. Because what happens with a lot of content creators is like, I've been streaming Age of Empires for 1.5 years. 1.5 years equals experience. Experience equals better content. And a lot of people, when they go exploring, I cannot compare Nando doing the first engineering stream ever with Nando having 1.5 years of Age of Empires. I can't. It's just unfair. How can small guy doing first engineering stream ever compete with guy who has done... So even though I feel like the near future has a lot of potential, this is my current level. Like I feel like I've stagnated at a certain level. What I'm doing right now is this and this. This is what I want to do. So in the near future, I'm expecting a dip in quality. Maybe more people will join. I have no idea. Wow, the numbers... I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about personal enjoyment. I'm thinking about character growth. And right now, I'm here. And in order to manage my expectations and do not be like, oh, I tried one thing, it didn't work. For example, guitar. I'm here in guitar streams. Because I think I did some things wrong and I have to improve. And I feel like I can improve them. But the same goes for... Go, the same goes for, I mean, Go, I've been improving from stream to stream, in my opinion. The same goes for everything I have planned. The quality will dip for then to rise. And what was the other thing? The quality of streams. Oh, that's another one. No repeats per week. What do I mean by that? That's a trap I want to avoid. I like creativity, I like different things. Right now, Go ranked matches is my #1 most successful content. Because of Twitch. It is. Recently, because of course I haven't been putting as much effort into Age of Empires, there are causes and effect. Age of Empires is bigger on YouTube, especially the VODs. The VODs go great. But this is my most active content. This is the content where I've been having more feedback. I have people in groups talking about my Go streams. I have people coming to me in person saying, oh, this is currently my #1 most successful content. So I could be thinking, yeah, it is impressive. And I've been doing Go for not a lot of time. It takes to Twitch and how Twitch works, basically. And also Go community is cool. And so if I'm doing Go ranked matches and they work, why don't I do it 2 times per week? I don't want to write it all. Or 3 times per week. And that will go back to my... if I go towards that line, I would have creativity suffocation. So does this mean I will only do 1 Go stream per week? No. I can do more than 1, but it has to be something different. Like, there are ideas, for example, I mean, if I organize an event, Sure. That's a break of pace. It could be, for example, reviewing games. Like reviewing viewer-submitted games. It could be like tournament coverage. Could be a lot of things. This is like a brainstormed kind of thing. So I can do more than one Ghost stream per week, but I'm imposing barriers to myself. I'm imposing constraints so I can go further beyond. And so one of the constraints is the no video games. The second one is I never want to have a repeat per week of a stream. If 3D modeling starts growing, I don't want to have 2 streams per week that is like, oh, me just modeling a piece. No, I will have to have 2 different shows tackling 3D modeling. I don't want to... I want to have creativity, and I feel like this also fights viewer burnout. Because if you like my ranked matches, if this is the only content you want to see out of me, and I start doing a lot, then you burn out. If I'm doing this and other things, you're like, okay, Tuesday, for example, is go ranked matches. I will just tune in on Tuesdays, and it is better for the growth. And then if Go is working out, then I find other ways of doing Go content. This is my current recipe for how I'm tackling things in the near future. And yeah, the main thing here, all of this, is that I'm someone who is very hype in personality. I get way too excited for things. Sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. And the PhD was kind of a bummer. I don't want to use burnout because that's more of a technical word for something very specific. PhD was a bummer, and it got me in a no hype mood. And I accepted that as my normality. You live something long enough, it becomes your normality. And now that I have enough time, now that the PhD is like the effort was there, it's over. And now that I'm returning to my normality, I'm regaining all of my hype and my motivation, and that's what this is all about. This is about me producing content that makes me a lot more motivated. And even this week, my stream both yesterday and Tuesday, even though Tuesday was gaming, I feel like they were banger of streams in terms of how I was talking, how my energy levels. And I've been doing a lot of stuff off stream as well, like doing fan arts for Axel and everything. I've been feeling very powerful and very this is my feelings lately have been power, peace. Sometimes, you know that feeling when you have a million ideas running through your mind and they're just fighting? Things feel clear lately. I've been feeling with a lot of power and a lot of peace. And the main thing that was opposing that... the main thing that was opposing that recently was is content, and now I can find a synergy with content. Yeah, I can go Super Saiyan now. Yeah, let me... Can I draw my own self-portrait here? Okay. I am an artist. No, I'm not. I'm a lot of things. I'm not an artist. Let me draw my self-portrait here. Real quick. And yeah, I'm going Super Saiyan. You cannot stop me. And hello, John Words. Welcome to this mess. You cannot stop me. Let me add the pose. The energy beams. Yeah, this is... I'm going Super Saiyan. Welcome to the mess that is TheNando. Yeah, if you ever... Like, you know that meme? Have you ever looked at someone's... mind and thought... Oh, someone and thought, what goes through their mind? This is how my mind works. This is a good summing up of how my mind works. Oh, let me just show the Excel thing of beauty. I did a fan art for my friend. This is a side note. I've been doing some good fan arts. Great fan arts. I did one for Zerzan as well. And let me get here the fan art I did for my friend Axel. It is a masterpiece. I need to show this on stream. He's a fellow Portuguese VTuber. And when I say that when I'm drawing, I'm not good at drawing, I'm more hee-hee-ha-has. Okay, yeah, the resolution. Yeah, this is my fan art of my good friend Axel. He played Dark Souls with a bonk stick, and this is his character in Dark Souls. Excuse Portuguese cute ass VTuber, take it through. Reading back on the chat sounds like there were more than a few updates, true. Yeah, this is... Behold, this is my art style. This is my good friend Axel. And this is now his wallpaper. See, Seti has his own wallpaper. But yeah, this is... When I was talking about positioning myself in the community and interacting with people, I like chatting with... having that interaction with Yomi was cool. Like, doing this... I have no adjective for this. For Axel is also something that was fun for me. Okay, and... Oh! I think there's nothing more to say here. Yeah, I've been feeling peace, powerful, and that also reflects, by the way, I talked about... Oh, wait, no. Artists have taught me to use more of these neutral colors. This also has been reflected on my book. I've been working a lot on my book, and I'm very happy. Working on my book makes me super happy. And this state of mind has been channeling towards my book, and now I want to also use this energy, the TheNando, towards content. So, yeah, this will be the No Game Saga. There's going to be a lot less video gaming on my channel for a while, and now I'm about to jump into a period of discovery. I think those are the main talking points. I'm just going over my notes. I think... Ooh, what did I press? Windows 11. I think these are the main talking points. I don't think I missed anything. I hope it makes sense what I'm doing. I hope my plans are clear. And yeah, I'm going to experiment, and this makes me very excited. This makes me Super Saiyan, like, full of power. Best wishes for you, Nando. Thank you, John. Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm about to enter a period of more exploration with my content. And trying out different stuff and things that align more with my strengths. I want to reach the full power of the Nando form. Okay, two things to address now. That's the near future. This is now the saddest news. I mean, saddest but also great. Is that I'm very excited to jump into this. This is the... let's add a beautiful... Oh, nice. Oh, near rust. Oh, I love doing capital Fs. Future. What can you expect? This is my last stream of this week, and now I'm going on a week break. I'm sorry. Next week I won't be streaming. It is my planned vacations. Like, my vacations so far were like hybrid vacations. I was doing half vacation, half work. Next week is my full-on week break, so no streams next week. I'm going on a small break, and also since I'm changing my content, I need to plan and think things. So I will return on September 10th. I will be... This is like 2 weeks break, right? Yeah, 2 weeks break. I'll be back on September the 10th with this new channel philosophy. And during the meantime, I'm also going to update some things on my branding. I'm working on a lot of cool projects, by the way. And it's good that none of those projects collide with my rebranding. On the opposite. All of these projects are in line with what I'm shifting around. And... I will soon reveal one of them. Soon, I mean like 5 minutes from now. One of them are like emotes are being worked on, and they are looking super cute. I will have more members-only content in the future as well. For people who join membership on YouTube, because now I'm monetized on both YouTube and Twitch. I have more things on the horizon, but yeah, a break until September 10th. And yeah, the thing I can reveal right now. Will make a Super Saiyan Nando emote. I mean, I don't know why I hired. No, I was about to say, why did I hire artists? Have you seen my skill set? No. I like throwing shade at people, but artists already suffer so much that I'm like, no, I cannot say that even as a joke for artists. Poor artists. Pay your artists. Respect your artists. They are already under enough fire. I don't want to joke at their expense. Yeah, Super Saiyan me. And I'm about to do a very cool reveal tied to my branding, to my stronger identity, which is now I have a logo for the channel. That's something that I really wanted, a logo to encompass everything that is TheNando, to encompass my style. I commissioned Ukeru Kairu, a fellow VTuber. Link should be in the description, and he did an amazing job. I really like my logo, and if you endured my talk, the stream will end soon. It's going to be about a 2-hour stream. No need to make it super long. No need to artificially extend the stream. But this is my new logo. I really like how it turned out. I'm really happy. I feel like it has a lot of... It really matches my style. And it matches my branding, and it has my pocket watch, it has my beret, my mustache. I'm really happy with what Ukeru Kairu did. Some people on X may have seen spoilers already, because he shared the commission work. But yeah, this is my logo. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. This just me. I want to be motivated and proud about my content and my image, my projected image. And this really projects the image of TheNando that now I will be working towards refining. I'm later can sell this. Imagine a lasagna brand with this glued on. It really looks like it could work as a food brand. But I really like the level of details, how the pattern on the alternating letters and the pattern matches my beret, the mustache and everything, and the N and the D look like they are forming two eyes. The O being the pocket watch. I'm really satisfied. That it is one of the stamps from letter writing, one of the wax stamps, wax seals. I think that's the correct terminology. But yeah, that was my TED Talk for today. I hope you enjoyed watching. And yeah, some people, I know some people, for example, you follow for the content, you also follow for the personality. If you enjoy my personality, it's hard to gauge personality. I feel like all of these decisions will just make me be able to bring forth more of that personality. The goal is for TheNando to be more Nando. I know, I just want to say an apology, because I know a lot of people follow me just for Age of Empires, and I may one day return to Age of Empires, and this is a decision, as I said, it was not easy. This is not a decision with only benefits. This was no decision is ever easy. This was weighing pros and cons, and this was something that I thought about a lot before making the decision. But I think for the current me, for the TheNando that is standing in front of you here today, it is the best decision at the moment. Maybe next week it won't be the best decision, but right now I feel like I need to do this. I feel like I need to take this risk and to step into this creative arc of self-discovery and innovation. And I hope I was able to communicate that properly. I was going back and forth, I interrupted myself. I'm sure after I end the stream, like right now I'm like, yeah, I've said everything. After I end the stream I'll be like, no, you forgot to mention this and that was your magnum, that was your best idea and you didn't say it. No, the calamity, the horror, the abomination, what has happened? But yeah. That was it. I could go into my main screen, but I'm going to leave this in the back, and then I'm going to share a print screen of this. Yeah, that was it for today. 1 week break, and I'll be back with more variety. I have nothing more to add. I hope this was interesting, and I hope you keep following my journey. And I mean, and if you do not enjoy where my journey is going, respect. I respect that. You can't please them all, but I hope this is going to be interesting, and this makes me excited, and that's the #1 thing. Yeah, that was it for today, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye everyone, and have a great time.